Good afternoon. It is good to be together today. How are you all doing? I see it. Today's service was unplanned until just a couple days ago. We were waiting to see what would happen and waiting to see how people would be feeling. And we created something based really on what the worship team felt like we needed. And we're hoping that it's what you need too, and it's why you don't have a program. Essentially, we're going through the same order of service that we usually do, but we didn't have time to print anything because we really made it up so recently. And usually we have those programs done almost 2 weeks in advance. So for today, I'm going to ask you to simply rest, be with us. We will be present to each other. We will love each other through this day and through all the days to come. This service we're imagining as the first of two. It's a 2-service arc. So we'll start today in something of a pastoral mode, and we'll move next week into more of an organizing mode, a real what exactly are we doing? But for today, we're going to sit. So let's begin. Come in and bring everything you have. Drag in your fear, your doubt, your anger. Carry with you your heartbreak, your desperation, your despair, your feelings of being small or alone or abandoned. Leave nothing by the door for you to pick up on your way out. Bring it all in. Bring it here to your people, even if you don't know a soul in the room. We are here for each other. We are what we have. We are what we need. Let's make room for each other in our fullness, and let's make room for faith, hope, and love, which also today are looking for a home. Even in this hard, cold space, we can create softness. We can create welcome. We can create warmth, where all of who we are can rest. Please rise in body or spirit. We're going to sing together the song, Comfort Me. You should have the words on that one sheet that you probably grabbed on your way in, or share with someone else. Or just pick it up. It's really pretty easy.
Join with me in our spoken words. We light this chalice, the flame of our heritage. May it ignite hope in our lives, in the community, and in the world. I invite you to join with me in our unison affirmation as you know it, or in the order of the printed paper I hope is still there. Unto the Church Universal, which is the depository of all ancient wisdom and the school of all modern thought, which recognizes in all prophets a harmony, in all scriptures a unity, and through all dispensations a continuity, which abjures all that separates and divides, and always magnifies humanity and peace, which seeks truth and freedom, justice and love, and individual discipline and social duty, and which shall make of all persons one beloved community unto this church and unto all its members, known and unknown, throughout the world. We pledge the allegiance of our hands and hearts. And now is the time in our service where we invite the gathering to get up and greet your neighbor. In this world that is frenetic and ever-changing, may we ground ourselves in community.
Friends, please find your seats, and as you do, we will sing our children up to the loft. We always ring our chime, and we have a prayer. For today, I'm going to ring our chime. We're going to sing a little of Find a Stillness, and we're going to just be silent, a little quiet. We're going to breathe a little together before the prayer. So I'm going to chime. I ask you just to sit and listen and let the sound fill this cavernous space. if you would, close your eyes and let your body be comfortable. Breathe deeply. Feel your feet. Feel your legs and your arms. Drop your shoulders. While the world around us spins so fast, for just a moment, let's be still together. Feel in your body where you are angry, and see if you can send that anger on its way. And feel in your body your own dignity, and see if you can hold that knowing close. Pray with me. Living and loving God, Spirit of the universe, Mother of earth, we are yours. We are open, we are vulnerable. We need to know we aren't alone. Be with us in our fear. Be with us in our anger. Be with us in our grief. We are grateful for the beauty of this planet, the energy of this sea, the faithfulness of this community. Thank you for our breath, the breath we share with the birds and the trees. When we feel exposed, when we are confronted by our fragility, we ask you to wrap that breath around us in love and help us to find the softness, the stillness we so need.
Find the stillness, oh, the
We each carry with us our own personal concerns, our sorrows, and our gratitude. And each week we light candles in the name of hope, calling forth our community, gathering our collective strength. If you would like to light a candle, please come forward. We light each of these flames in love and hope, an abiding concern for each other. Are you okay? It's symbolic. Pass it back. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I usually come out here on Sunday and often tell a story. Today I'm going to break with that pattern for today. And I'm going to share with you a short phrase, a snippet from a poem. I'm going to share with you a longer poem that was written this week and was posted on the 7th. And I'm going to share with you an anecdote. All of them have come their way to me or written by women in this case as it happens, although that was not the intent when I started looking for things this week that might inform me on how to get through the week. The first you can find in our hymnal, the gray one. It's from a poet that many of us would know, Adrienne Rich. She famously declined a U.S. National Medal of the Arts when Newt Gingrich famously put forward a vote to kill the National Endowment of the Arts. And I think Adrienne Rich has some wisdom for us today. My heart is moved by all I cannot save. So much has been destroyed. I have to cast my lot with those who age after age perversely, with no extraordinary power, reconstitute the world. We're going to talk about that more in the weeks to come. The second poem is from a colleague, a Unitarian Universalist minister, a woman, a mom. We went to seminary together. It's written by Reverend Kim Wiliszewski. This one's a tough one, so get comfortable as best you can. Certainly America is a woman. What with all that claiming of her body, staking flags, and whatever else we damn well please into what was already someone's, hers. Certainly America is a woman. What with all those purple mountains and shining seas, and what has lived within her that we haven't tried to first ignore, then regulate. What sounds have we not shushed in discomfort, hysterical winds, the fire's righteous roar? What deep cycle have we not plugged or rerouted so as to best control? Certainly as a woman, certainly America is a woman. Look how we cheer, look how we cut her down. And that's true, too. And the third came to me when I was trying to remember something, some primal story that would help me make sense. And it came to me on Wednesday, and I was thinking about Tuesday night, too. I was thinking about a time when I was on retreat. It was in the pre-times, before the pandemic, the before times. We were up, I think we were up at Stony Point. Clergy were together, and it was a story told to me by another colleague, a woman. And she was on a retreat somewhere, and there's a story that was told to her, so take it as an anecdote. But it's recent, and it was a story about some years before when we were learning in Buddhist circles. This colleague is a UU, but also a Buddhist. In Buddhist circles, often we think of Buddhism as mindfulness just means no reaction, passivity, present, etc. And this was happening right after it was exposed in the news that there are a bunch of Buddhist circles and spaces that had abuse of women by male clergy. Unitarian Universalism is guilty of that as well. I bring this up because it hits a chord for me. There was a gathering where this was being talked about, and the Dalai Lama was hearing it. And when the Dalai Lama was seated down at the time, and the response of the Dalai Lama was, "This has to stop." It was a slam on a table. This has to stop. I don't know what emotions we could ascribe there, but I think there's a lesson in spirituality. There is a moment for all of us that we have to say, all the nonsense, all the stories, all the gaslighting that's out in the world, the first thing that has to happen is this needs to stop.
You want me to say something that's going to make you feel better, that's going to bring clarity, something you'll be able to remember all week long to keep you grounded, something clever and honest and useful. I want me to say that thing too. I would like to hand you a pile of magic words that fit neatly into a sparkling gift box ribbon on top for each of you to take home. I'd like that sermon to start with a story. My story would be ancient, filtered through millennia and the breath of our ancestors. It would be about a people who called a leader who was cruel and incompetent, and the people rose up against him in some glorious, bloodless way to take back their nation. It might include a wise woman who loves her people into knowing they deserve more, that they can be more. Maybe a woman who inspires them to build a new society of mutual aid centered on love and a commitment to companionship. That's a sermon I'd like to preach. That's a sermon I'd like to hear. But I don't know a story like that. And I don't have any gift boxes. There are plenty of stories of bad leaders, but no bloodless uprisings ending in utopia. There's the story of Saul, the first king of Israel chosen by God through Samuel. He was an awful king, selfish and arbitrary, and as soon as they realized he wasn't up to the task, God and Samuel got rid of him. I thought I might tell you more about Saul, maybe by way of saying, see, leaders can be damaging and dangerous, but you already knew that. We've been here before. I could also outline for you all the stages of resistance, all the things the experts tell us about how to recognize the fall of democracy, how to live in a fascist society, how to prevent civilization from collapsing. And I will, many times, I am sure, but not today. For those who don't know me, I'm a student of history. My doctoral work was in American religious history. My master's is in medieval theology. My bachelor's, if you're interested, is in liberation theology. In other words, I spent a lot of time studying so I could be ready for, or at least understand, a moment like this one. Power imbalances, profound sexism, intractable racism, infighting, rage, systemic economic injustice. These things have been part of the human story from the beginning. We are, in some way, who we've always been. If we're stunned that a charlatan promising everything to everyone with a message soaked in hate was elected in what might be called a landslide, if we're stunned and we keep asking ourselves why, or how could this happen, or who are these people, we haven't been paying attention. These are Americans. They are humans demonstrating for us again who we all are at our most broken. These are the people they have always been, for 400 years and long before that. These are the people who filled the Roman Colosseums to see slaves and Jews and Christians torn apart by hungry lions while they cheered. These are the people who showed up to watch the heretics march through the streets naked, the people who taunted them and threw food at their children. These are the people who tortured women behind prison doors for trying to get the right to vote. These are the children in the schoolyard who circle around two people arguing and chant, "Fight, fight, fight." These are the people who covered themselves in white sheets, tore their neighbors from their homes, and hung them on this tree outside. Cruelty is and has always been part of the human condition. So has apathy. When Jews were rounded up and put into ghettos, Germans would walk by without glancing in the direction of their neighbor, now starving and desperate. The most common acknowledgement was a request to move the ghettos further from the town centers because of the smell. It is not difficult to get people to behave badly. When I was teaching undergraduate theology, I had a lecture I called 10 Easy Steps to Genocide. It starts with naming the outgroup, creating an us and them. Who can we hate, fear? Who can we blame? Turning from our own problems to create a concrete cause, a people we can target, is an easy first step. Call them animals, different, not really human, vermin, need to be eliminated so we can all be happy again. This has already started, and some of us are the new them. Trans people, trans families, queer people, queer families, immigrants, people of color, women, especially those without children, even more childless women of color, and anyone who speaks out for them. We are them. And our neighbors voted for a society where we don't exist. Or some did. Some weren't paying enough attention to know what they were voting for. The most Googled question on election day was, did Biden drop out? That day was the first they'd heard Harris was the candidate. And that's part of the end of democracy, too. Without an engaged electorate, without civics taught in schools, without a body politic tuned in and actively participating in the national conversation, democracy has no one to hold it up. We work too much. We have too many devices barking at us. The news cycle literally doesn't stop. And in the end, it's all we can do to get through a day and have dinner on the table when it's over. The cycle of exhaustion serves anyone who wants us to look away. So here we are. After all that has happened, all our get out the vote effort, sending postcards, making phone calls, knocking on doors, sending money, after months of doing whatever we can to stop the rising tide of hate, we lost. More than half the country, for many, many reasons, voted for Project 2025 and the elimination of the EPA and the Department of Education and climate ambitions and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and Social Security and health care and reproductive rights. It stings. It's infuriating. It's terrifying. It also isn't the end of the story. I'm absolutely not going to pretend everything will be okay, but I also know that none of the examples I gave of our inherent violence end with those acts. Women did get the right to vote. The Civil Rights and Voting Rights Acts were passed. The Inquisition ended. 7 states codified reproductive rights in their constitution on Tuesday. And believe it or not, even the lions got tired of tearing apart defenseless Christians. The story is not over. That it started is depressing, it's mind-boggling. It's also in too many ways expected. We should sit with that. Sit with the sadness of that. Sit with the disconnect we feel from people in other parts of the country, or maybe other parts of our own families. Sit with a mirror up to our own culture, our own people, our own history. Sit with the feeling of being baffled and of sort of understanding the way hate can feel good. Sit with our anger, our fury, our rage. We're going to need that later. Sit in the feelings of being alone, of being afraid, of not knowing what's next. It's all real. But this story is not over. For now, for this afternoon and each of the afternoons through this week, I'm hoping that we can all take care of ourselves. Next week, we're going to get ready to fight fascism, but for now, let's all sit with what we know and what it means. Let's hold fast to each other, share meals with each other, send texts of love to each other, hold someone's arm as you're walking together, take time in the morning for meditation, go to sleep early. For this week, consider eating really well. Consider full, well-balanced meals. Consider cooking. Consider sharing a meal with a neighbor. It doesn't have to be a sick neighbor or a single mom or someone in need. Just cook and share with anyone in your sight. Offer kindness to someone. Offer care. Allow this week to be a little bit slower, a little bit quiet. Make room for introspection, or dancing, or howling at the moon. I love the Jewish death ritual of sitting Shiva. The family sit in their homes and the community takes care of them. The door is unlocked, the mirrors are covered, people bring food. For 1 week, let's take care of one another. Let's acknowledge that we are grieving. Maybe before you leave here today, make a date with someone for window shopping on Tuesday or morning coffee on Thursday. There's a lot to do in the weeks and the years ahead. For now, rest in knowing that you are loved. Be loved. You and I have been claimed by love. We are part of this mysterious universe, this world too big to understand, this galaxy spinning, this planet sustaining. We are no less than the trees and the stars. It's so easy to forget our place here at the center with love, who has wrapped herself around each of us, who delights in our wondering and in our searching, who accompanies us in our rage and witnesses our despair. Rest in knowing you belong here. You are part of whatever happens next, part of the march of time, even this time. You belong here with the rest of us, all beloved, all called by love. I started by telling you I don't know what to say, that I don't have any wisdom, that I don't have a story that will illustrate and guide our next steps. I don't. But I will. And you will too. It will all become clear to us as time unfolds. For today, we'll stick with what we already know. We are loved. We are love. We have been claimed by love, and we will claim others for the path of love. For today, that is all we have, and it is enough. Going to have a musical meditation. Extinguish our chalice. I'm going to leave you with words from Naomi Shihab Nye. She writes, "A man crosses the street in rain, stepping gently, looking 2 times north and south, because his son is asleep on his shoulder. No car must splash him, no car drive too near his shadow. This man carries the world's most sensitive cargo, but he's not marked. Nowhere does his jacket say fragile, handle with care. His ear fills up with breathing. He hears the hum of a boy's dream deep inside him. We're not going to be able to live in this world if we're not willing to do what he's doing with one another. The road will only be wide. The rain will only stop falling." So we're going to extinguish our chalice, leaving from here the energy of doing for each other, of carrying each other gently, lovingly, carefully, knowing how quickly the flame of truth may be extinguished, how easily the chalice of fellowship broken. Let us be vigilant in faith, keep peace in our hearts, and make care for one another the watchword of our lives together, so our light goes out everywhere into this world. Our light goes out everywhere. Healing and hope are needed. It's good to be with you.